This is a summary of the 8th season of the Debbie and Carrie show. Debbie and Carrie meet with Chantal Jefferson, mother of Michael Jefferson, who offers to have Debbie, Carrie, Richard, her grandson, and Annika McKenzie live with her when they return to the town. At the same time, Suzanne and Laura appeal to Debbie and Carrie to join them to form a new YouTube channel dedicated to being an alternative news source promoting liberal, feminist, anti-racist, and pro-LGBT causes. This channel will later be named the America for All Network. Whitney Owell now reports that she has bought out the mansion at the edge of town that Ted Wilson and his father Leonard used to live in, and she offers it to the Smith family. Sandy, Debbie, and Carrie eagerly accept. Debbie and Carrie later build a studio at the mansion and begin making videos to upload to their new channel. Suzanne and Laura build their own studio at their own mansion in Los Angeles. The channel soon becomes well known for dealing with hard-hitting subjects most mainstream TV networks won't even touch, such as a doctor devoted to treating patients in a crime-ridden section of Los Angeles. Returning the favor that Mrs. Jefferson had offered them earlier, Debbie and Carrie invite her to live with them and the others at the Smith-Wilson mansion, and she accepts. Laura later tells Suzanne joyful news. She is pregnant. But at the same time, Suzanne must replace her glasses again because of her weakening vision. Vicky Sims and Hermine Dawson discuss writing songs together. After Vicky leaves, Hermine and her brother George get into an argument, and George makes a racist remark, causing Hermine to slap him. Carrie decides to rejoin the town's police department, but only on a part-time basis as a detective rather than full-time as a patrol officer. Carrie's first task as a new detective is to interview Hermine Dawson at the hospital where she is recovering from the beating her brother gave her. Paul Jenkins is so outraged over what George Dawson did that he goes to the jail he is at and beats him down while Officer Kelly Grimm looks the other way. Jason Laker, who has spent many years in Houston working as a news reporter for a mainstream and corporate-owned news network, now quits it to return to the town and join Debbie and Carrie in their independent network. He brings with him his wife, Jennifer Olivia Laker, a staunch advocate for gun control. Suzanne has replaced her glasses again and now she and Laura get married. A joyful occasion indeed for the Hudson and Park families. Debbie and Carrie decide to have a meeting at a summer camp outside the town in August. The guests at the camp include Laura Park and Suzanne Hudson, who have brought with them their niece Diana Hudson, James and Penny, who have brought with them Jonathan and Tara's daughter Helen Sims. And also there, naturally, are Richard Sims, Annika McKenzie, who is now considered one of Richard's cousins, and the twins Tommy and Tony Lessie, who are the little brothers of Carrie. Their parents, Dr. Martin Lessie and Darla Lessie, brought the twins but do not attend the camp, preferring to visit the Sims couple. Martin and Darla decided not to divorce and instead worked out their differences for the sake of their sons. Sandy reports that she sold the house Debbie and James grew up in to the Sterling couple, and now they live there with Bella's brother Sean Flowers, eagerly awaiting the birth of Bella's baby in a few months. Suzanne and Laura leave the camp to visit Hermine Dawson because of Suzanne slowly losing her own vision and Hermine being blind for many years. Laura and Nadine Dawson, Hermine and George's mother, are disturbed to learn that George has been bailed out of jail by Diana Kelly. And when Sandy learns of this, she is furious. She demands that Diana Kelly and George Dawson be located. But it is too late. That night, Diana Kelly and George Dawson start a bunch of wildfires near the town. The fires soon spread and destroy the campsite Debbie, Carrie, and the others were at, driving them into a nearby creek for protection from the flames. But the water can't protect the children from being kidnapped, and that's exactly what happens to Diana Hudson. Diana Kelly and George Dawson rush away with the other Diana to lure Sandy Smith into a deadly trap. When Sandy Smith arrives at the scene and learns what was done, she decides she must end things with Diana Kelly once and for all, so she walks right into Diana Kelly's trap. And when Diana Hudson realizes what is about to happen, she kicks George Dawson in the groin to free herself. And then Sandy attacks Diana Kelly directly despite Miss Kelly being armed, and instead of getting shot to death, Sandy manages to kill Diana Kelly with her own gun, ending their long and bitter feud. Suzanne is later convinced to rejoin the Hudson family band, and the band then starts another tour. Vicky Sims meets with Paul Jenkins at the Tuscany Tavern for a breakup date, because she will be moving with her mothers back to Boston for the Sims couple to establish another Tuscany Tavern there. When Jessica and Lucy open the new restaurant, they hire Penny and Tara to be their first employees there. Meanwhile, Vicky Sims is attending a high school where she meets Imelda Sorkane, who seems friendly at first, until Vicky learns she is actually a new threat as a gang leader. Vicky does make some genuine friends, such as Renee, who is non-binary, and Chandler, who eats at the new restaurant after hearing about it from Vicky. It isn't long before Imelda and her gang dig up dirt about Vicky and spread rumors about her to destroy her reputation at the school. Vicky is devastated by these attacks and runs away from the school, but she is later encouraged to fight back. First with words, as Vicky writes a powerful statement defending herself from the rumors. And then with a brawl in the school cafeteria in which Imelda and her gang are beaten by Vicky and her friends, and then the principal of the school sides with Vicky and expels the gang from the school altogether. Despite their best efforts, Lucy and Jessica are unable to turn a profit with the second Tuscany Tavern, and so after less than 2 months they sell it to the owner of a chain of seafood restaurants called the Atlantic Fisheries. And return to the town in East Texas, where Vicky is reunited with Paul Jenkins, making both of them much happier. Shortly after returning to Texas, the Sims family is visited by Angel Micron, who is also from Boston. She was once Carrie's best friend until she stole her first boyfriend, Patrick, and now she is looking for Carrie. Jessica tells Angel to go to the Tuscany Tavern. So now Carrie is put in the awkward position of having to tell Debbie about both Angel and Patrick, which she never expected to do. Carrie sits down with Angel and she apologizes for her past betrayal of Carrie and begs her forgiveness. Carrie accepts the apology and both move on. Meanwhile, Bella has given birth to her baby, a girl named Linda. In Los Angeles, Scott is now engaged to Aisha, and so he finally summons the courage to tell his mother Victoria of his converting to Islam. And since Scott is now an adult, Victoria has no choice in the matter. She has lost yet another family member that once belonged to her cult. A ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court allows states like Texas to ban gay marriage, and so such a ban is passed by the Texas state legislature and signed by the governor, instantly making the marriages of LGBT couples like Debbie and Carrie as well as Lucy and Jessica legal. When Vicky Jones hears about this, she calls Debbie and Carrie and offers them a place to live in Patagonia City, where gay marriage is still legal. Debbie and Carrie accept this offer, and soon after they arrive, Vicky Jones has them appear for a third time in the Blazing Beauty show, this time as superheroes fighting along with Vicky to defeat an alien threat. And so ends the 8th season of the Debbie and Carrie show.